Welcome, welcome, my dear friends. Morpheus is in the house. Again, super excited to deliver the red pill and give you a dose of truth about trading by the book. We're trading based on logic, math, statistics. We understand that luck has absolutely no bearing, no place in our approach in money making capabilities. Today, my dear friends, since we don't have any kind of exciting news, any kind of macros that are happening on the this week, so actually today, tomorrow we do have CPI. CPI is going to give us a beautiful spike. There's going to be a nice retracement after, and this is certainly something that you and I will be able to discuss. Yeah, my boys Donald and Henry are in the house and doing great, guys. Actually, really positively charged right now. I don't know. The weather is kind of, the weather's nice, but it's a little hot for my taste. And actually, I think my AC is not really working properly. But you know what's chump change? I'm still going to be here with you guys today showing another indicator that most people like. It's super easy, something that you and I are able to, kind of, I don't know, master or, in short order. Basically, it's Fractal2, right? This fractal right here. Now, we do have fractal chaos bands, right? These are these, and anytime it reaches outside of the band, that kind of gives us maybe a little bit of an idea that there's going to be enough momentum to push further. Usually it's used with like a leading indicator like CCI. So here with CCI, when it touches the positive 100, you can't expect a couple of, green candles to follow through. If it's in conjunction with a lagging indicator like chaos fractal bands, um, you are able to maybe put not just 1% but maybe several percent as first investment. Here it was kind of close also, right? So it's not really ideal science, right? But there it is right here, also closed outside, so you expect a little few more red candles. Let's see here, it's the same thing. Here when it touches from the inside, but as you can see it was a little blip and came back in. At this point, yeah, we also have kind of like a signal here. At this point, see, when we usually it's most traders pick at least one lagging indicator and one leading indicator, one on top and one that's under. But today we're going to be talking about Fractal 2, this sucker right here. Actually, I have it selected as the first one. There it is. All right, so what the heck is it showing right now? Well, it's showing us a possible points of entry, but the interesting thing about fractals is that the arrows are coming on the or rather the signal comes on the following candle, right? So somewhere on this candle, this signal came up and said that the next candle should be red. It was. On this candle, there was a signal saying that the next candle, or actually I shouldn't really say red, but there would be a drop. And so there was a drop. On this candle, it said that there's going to be a rise, and there was a rise. On this candle, this signal came up, said that there's going to be a drop. See, they happen quite often, though, right? On this candle right here, this signal came up, said there's going to be a rise. On this candle right here, it came up, said that there's going to be a fall, a drop. So again, right here on this candle, it said it's a rise. Here it said a fall, but this is a false signal. See, or at least we could have kind of looked at it from perspective that's setting up a second or third step martingale. Maybe if you trusted this indicator implicitly, but we don't trust anything one indicator implicitly. We also kind of take a look at support and resistance levels because. Right, and actually this is something that let's remove all of the ones that I drew in the past. Alright, so if we establish a level of resistance, there it is, right? So AED, CNY, OTC, alright, we've got it here. So we got 1, we got 2, we got third point contact, we got fourth, kind of stretch the truth into the fifth one. And, anytime we establish a level, anytime it shows up for a sell, because we, usually follow this particular trend is your friend kind of idea, mentality. It's usually, it's very popular. So you are able to, actually in this case, I think we're able to create a channel right here, right? Let's see, if we kind of, it's not an exact science, we could actually kind of maybe get it somewhere kind of here. I don't know, as I mentioned, not an exact, there it is, all right? Yeah, I think at the end it's close enough, right? So, it's bouncing between this channel, kind of hitting these lows and lower lows. Um, yeah, so essentially we understand that once, while it's below this line, technically, the resistance level, it should continue to fall, but after there is a breakout, in this case right here, we understand that chances are there's going to be continuation, a bit of a reversal of trend. And sure enough, there it is. One, two, three. Well, yeah, on the fourth one, you kind of broke through, but not by a lot. So we still have kind of maybe this, something like this in the works. We got a false breakout here, but, technically kind of like this, right? So one, two, three. We got it testing right now the fourth level. So we usually want to open positions that go with the trend until we see a breakout strategy and an opportunity to take advantage of a reversal, right? So anytime there was a signal on a sell, we had a much greater chance of winning than if we did on a buy. Now look, so here it opened a, kind of gave a signal on a buy position. And, the difference in pips, right? 94.32 to 94.40, so 27 pips. It went from here to here, about 27 pips, right? Uh, did I count this right about? Right, let's say 32, 32 and about, yeah, 47. So 10 would be 42. Yeah, about 17 pips. But when this gave, right, on this candle, it gave us a sell signal, right? Well, we could say that it went up, down all the way up to here. So it was a big movement, right? It dropped a lot. Again, a buy signal, a little bit. A sell signal dropped a lot. A buy signal, a little bit. A sell signal, dropped a lot. During the drop, obviously, once again, we need to understand that the pip value here, 94.48, right, about, actually even here, right, 48 and 18, so 30 pips. This particular candle is 30 pips. All right, so this is in real, well, if it was a real market, this would be like on a standard lot around $300 worth of profit. So naturally, when somebody gets that kind of movement, there tends to be a cash out, there tends to be a retracement. But then, as I mentioned, there was even a further drop. So we kind of have this, a little repetitiveness to this, right? So a drop, retracement, it touches this level, drop, retracement, touches, barely, but nevertheless, right, we could actually, I don't know, wait, let's adjust this a little bit. So it looks a little prettier, maybe kind of like this. There we go. Right, and this is actually something that I was telling you, talking to you about yesterday when we were checking out Aroon indicator. Trend is your friend. We need to understand that in Aroon indicator there tends to be crossing. If there is a crossing a little bit, above 70%, we kind of talked about this yesterday. So this was a sell signal from Aroon, signaling that yes, there will, there is a possible, downward movement. But then there was other factors that we could have taken advantage, but it happened, really on the low percentile. See here, it was above 70, and when we say that when this crossing happens around 70, there tends to be a higher chance that there's going to be an upward movement still. So when you choose to trade binaries, we need to understand how you get your signals. If you're waiting for Aroon crossings, right, let's just assume this, right? So with Aroon, this is a buy signal right here. This is a sell signal right here. This is a buy signal right here. So in these situations, if you're waiting for just this is, in terms of time-wise, 1430, 15, well, pretty much an hour for 3 signals. To be able to get your 10% per day, you are forced by the fact that you're opening positions so rarely, right? If you open like 3, 4 positions per hour, and maybe one of them is going to be out of money, the second one is going to be with martingale a little bit higher, and there's going to be covering the previous losses. Still, this is kind of stress factor involved as well. Anyways, you will need to understand that if your goal is to hit 10%, if you're getting like 4 signals per hour, you might actually need to be in front of a computer for like 3, 4, 5 hours to get to your daily goal. Which actually, it sounds like a lot when it's a side income. If you're trying to make, if you're making money, on the side, yeah, 4 or 5 hours seems unrealistic, right? But like, who the hell has that much, free time? But if you're doing this kind of like me, with I sit in front of a computer the whole day. So maybe that's actually okay, right? Because it's not a 9 to 5 job anyway, right? It's not like somebody's asking you to do physical labor or go to meetings, right? You just turn on some techno trance, or I don't know, some smooth jazz, right? You make yourself a nice cup of coffee. I don't know, maybe on one screen you're playing video games while, you're keeping an eye out on certain support and resistance levels. So life is good. So essentially, 4 or 5 hours of that, it's not really bad if you get to make your 10%. However, for some people, this is really unrealistic, and that's why, you might be looking at indicators that give you signals a bit more often. So today we're still going to do this, I'm still going to do it on the low side because it is a lagging indicator. See, right now, it's showing us a sell signal right over here with terms of Aroon. I would say that we got 1, 2, 3, kind of, and on the fourth one right here while I was blabbering, I kind of missed this opportunity, for a sell. Right, but so there was a breakout strategy. This particular level is no longer in effect, and now we have a possible um, retracement, right? So a possible movement downward. And actually, there's really nothing. I mean, I would say that somewhere here, maybe it will stop and resist, and maybe somewhere here as well, based on the previous points where the asset was bouncing away. But the same thing, we are actually going to go with multiplier 1.5. And again, we're going to do live trading with Aroon to kind of give us maybe a bit, an understanding, maybe if we should, there we go, a sell. All right, oh, wait a second, and a sell, we're going to do a sell till the end of the minute. All right, so there we go, we're going to sell with $1, and because it's a 2-point contact, this particular level of resistance is still in play. Right, so we're still adjusting. Many people say, how do you set up a level of resistance or support? You're looking at when the asset peaked, you're watching it, drop, and next time it touched that level, it could be that second point, and you just extend the line, and when the asset bounces away and comes to that line one more time, it gives us the asset, the point of interest. All right, so if we are to continue with the sell signal, see on this candle, we had a fractal pop up saying that it's going to go down. I believe that we're going to ride this for a couple of trades, and I think that, well, it probably will close, but I don't know what. All right, it closed below. See, now we have a buy signal, so let's, but it's within a downward trend. See, I'm not, okay, and it disappeared. Because we are the ones in the OTC impacting where this is going, usually it's done based on technical analysis. Well, there it is. All right, so we're going to be opening signals primarily when fractal shows, but I think that I want to limit myself to the trades that are with the trend because the probability of a success is going to be a little bit higher. So we got 1-point contact, we got 2-point contact right now for sure. In about 18 seconds, see, I would have actually continued to sell every single minute. You see, that's the beautiful part, because with trend is your friend, you spot a trend, and for about 10-15 minutes, you can ride it, open, positions with proper martingaling until it gives you that 10%. So essentially 1% of your balance Obviously I'm not, doing that. I'm doing kind of with $1 right now. But the point is that if you're stress resistant enough, you are able to, if you got $1,000 to open with $10, right? Then it's going to be with 15. Then it's going to be with 37.50. All right. So if you're doing things to elevate the success rate, with the riding with the trend, like for example here, right? We've entered here. You know what? Let's go parabolic as well. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful signal. Fractal showed on this candle. Parabolic showed on this candle. Breakout strategy wrote on this candle. So if you open $10, you got $1,000 balance. You open it for 10 here, in the money, in the money, in the money. This one is for $15. In the money, in the money, in the money. This one's for $15. In the money. This one's for $15. In the money, in the money, in the money. I don't know, 50-50. Let's say that this one's for $15. Screwed up here. Right, in the money, in the money. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's your 10%. So when you go on, right, I usually don't look at AEDCNY. It's just that I was talking with one of my clients, and I showed them exactly what I'm saying to you guys right now. Choose a whole bunch of 92% OTCs, and then go through them, and you say, hey, you know what? I don't know, this sucker's going sideways, not really a trend. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's more like it. We got like a nice line over here, actually, right? The resistance level. There we go. Let's say it comes across these, right? But it never was broken. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Anytime it touches. 1, almost 2, 3, almost 4, 5. So you believe me, when this sucker breaks through this level, and it actually has potential to do that because we are seeing throughout a very long downward trend, we're seeing an upward movement as well. So now it's consolidating in the next 10 minutes or so. Maybe let's keep an eye out on this. It should give us a, potential. So it gives us more information. Maybe we need to adjust this for it to be somewhere like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it does have this, but it's also been falling down for quite a long time. This is where we kind of understand. So we're still going down with the trend, but we're also going up with the trend a bit shorter, right? So where we are here, so that we had a fractal, and we kind of started here. We're going to maybe spend a little bit more time here as well. But we noticed that we took a sell position here, and it went up, so we lost it. Then we did the second step mark. Or wait, no, we won, right? Did we win? Yes, we did. Okay, so we won on this one. So we're just basically, it's kind of retracing. It's testing. There we go. So 1, we got 2, and right now it could be that point where if it breaks through, this particular level will not be valid. But if it bounces away and continues to go lower, and right now it is facing certain levels. See, back here it was bouncing away. Back here it bounced away, so it is kind of like a level of interest, so we'll see. But if it breaks through this, right, we'll have our third point contact, and this particular level will be validated. And also, if fractal, in the 23 seconds when this candle closes, if fractal appears on top, yeah, we're going to open the position and continue with our, I don't know, familiarization with this particular instrument. So, while we're waiting, let's see, as I mentioned, here we're expecting within the next, I would say, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe like in 15 minutes, I would actually expect this to either break down on the low side or break up on the upside and go up for a, pretty decent time. So let's take a look here. We got, I don't know, we got possible support level here. We got possible resistance level here. Let's set this up. Let's set this up so that we see visually. As I mentioned, I don't want to be promising anything I can't back up. And actually, it's one of the things that if you take a look at Pocket with the, if you take a look on Pocket with the link that's provided below, you can even ensure you're trading against negative results, something that you can discuss with me one-on-one through our Telegram channel. All right, so we do have a possible channel here, right? There we go, right? So it's bouncing between these, and I'm saying that if it bounces up, which now parabolics went to the bottom, on this candle right here, we had a signal from Fractal that it's going to go up, but we don't have a confirmed level of resistance yet, right? So we kind of could finesse it like this a little bit, maybe to say that this was a third level, but it's kind of stretching the truth, though it's not an exact science. All right, so where are we here with, there we go, breakout, breakout, breakout strategy, and I guess the trend might be over. So theoretically, this particular negative movement might have petered out. We got our parabolic switch to the bottom, and, well, you know what? I should have entered a little bit sooner. 1, 2, on the third, it's breaking out, so this has not really been confirmed level of resistance, but nevertheless, it still is, valid point. So when this closes, now anytime we get Fractal for an upward movement for a buy, we're going to be opening our positions. So we're going to be kind of hopping back and forth here. All right, so here we're still kind of in between this massive downward movement and a short-term upward movement. We got a downward movement. I kind of missed it on the Fractal. You know what? Maybe we can take a position here, right? And maybe let's go for a timer. Let's go for a timer, right? For $1, not a big deal. Let's go for a timer. AUD USD. I don't know. What do you guys? You guys see anything impressive here? Let's kind of put a line out here and see if we can take a look at a possible. Well, we do have a possible 3-point contact right here. We've just extended it. We have a maybe a bit more aggressive movement, right? Kind of, I don't know, not really. Maybe from this point, right? A possible 3rd-point contact, but right now it seems like it would be breaking. If we stretch the truth a little bit here with the 1, with the 2, with the 3, it is breaking out on the 4th. So technically it could go upwards. Still a timer for 60 seconds. This actually, when you go for a timer, it means that it could carry over into the following candle, right? And that's something that we might not like, right? So I don't know what kind of position was this. This was a sell position, and it's still breaking out. It's still going upwards, right? So Fractal here said sell on this candle and went up. In a downward movement, that's what I was saying, that I would maybe want to reserve my till the end of the minute. And let's see, I mean, right now parabolic says up. Aroon still kind of in the, shows that it's still, above the 70, that it could be going down while in a downward movement. 1, 2, possible 3. Well, it's closing on the outside. It's closing on the outside. So is this a start of a breakout strategy? On this candle, we had the Fractal to say that it is. But once again, you know what? Nobody's pushing us to take positions. We can maybe look at more comfortable. There we go. This is a breakout. Oh, there we go. A breakout strategy. I would have, when they closed, I would have opened the position here, but we kind of missed that a little bit. All right, let's see. Here where we started. Right now we're having a buy, right? So a bit of a retracement, right? It's an upward movement. It's very aggressive. A bit of a retracement. Is it going to continue? Well, let's take a look. All right, so we won $1, we lost $1. Let's go to $1. Oh, nope. Let's go to $1.50. The reason why we're kind of keeping it on the small side is that I really, my approach is a little bit different, but I'm not here to sell you what I do. All right, I'm here to clarify all of the aspects of trading so that you can pick what you need to fit your specific personal approach. As I mentioned, there's a way to trade where you trade every single minute. There's a way to trade when you kind of get signals once every couple of hours, or a few every hour. There's trading, abilities to kind of analyze the market on a higher time frame while trading on a shorter time frame. So everything, there's so much flexibility to our approach that we can still, that it's not really something that fits everybody. I can tell you about a particular approach where you go all in for several trades. Not something that I personally like to do, but I know people that do that, which doesn't, that they make money with that. It doesn't make it wrong, right? Just not something that I feel comfortable doing. So we're going to discuss everything, but the reason why I'm keeping this on the low side is because, I don't usually trade like that. Anyway, so let's kind of keep an eye out. See, we didn't get a fractal. I don't know. I kind of want to ride this train. I still believe that it's going to be going upwards, though it is a second point contact um, with our indicator, with our not indicator, support level right here. And I don't know, AED didn't really treat me so good today, but we'll take a look and see basically see what happens. All right, so if it's going to go down a little bit lower, it's okay. We're going to go for even bigger position. I think it's going to be around, let's say, I don't know, 12 bucks. Yeah, we're going to lose this, but it's okay. Till the end of the minute, we're going to go for the next, and we're going to wait a little bit more. We had a fractal here saying that it's going to be lowering. It is lowering, so let's wait until fractal comes on the bottom side, saying that there's going to be an upward movement. So we're going to be constantly readjusting this particular support level because we're looking for a second point contact off of which the asset will start going upwards. So it's not something that can go down forever. But technically, we have like 3 false signals from parabolic. And it does look like, right, the both of this particular line in Aroon is lowering. So the crossing, if it's going to happen, is going to be, coming up soon. So let's just continue. And I don't know, while we're waiting, let's see what we got here. A possible, there we go. So we still need to wait. We still need to kind of get an idea. So if the Aroon crossed over here saying that there's going to be a downward movement, but you know what? Yes, it is going up a little bit. Fractal showed that there's going to be a rise. And if on this candle it goes up a little bit higher and touches the parabolic, parabolic switches to the bottom, once again shows that there's a lot of interest in buying, and it could go up to this level again. But it seems like it might be dropping further. I think CAD JPY also had, there it is, it's going sideways, but I don't know, I don't really like it when it goes that way. So, all right, going back to AEDCNY, there we go, a sell. Man, a sell. So yeah, I guess that maybe in this case we should set a 2-point contact for resistance and understand that while it's still below this line, it's going to continue to go downward still. All right, 2, 0, 0, there we go on the 29th. All right, let's sell it on this one. Just based on the parallel, but still giving Fractal a little bit of extra attention. So let's maybe, while we're waiting for this to pan out, let's see if we can maybe set up a few historical understandings. All right, so here for a sell depends on how you sell, right? If you sell for, like 2-3 steps of martingale after the signal, here you would have been in the money right on the first one. Here you would have been in the money on the second. Here for a buy, you would have, well, I don't know, on the following candle. Once again, if you got the flag till the end of the candle here, when this signal comes up, till the end of the candle, you would have lost. All right, but if it was, 60-second timer and you went into the following candle, you could have won on that one. So here, once again, a signal for sell, you would have gotten on the second step martingale. Here for a buy, well, it was a false signal, so you would have lost if you got like 1 or 2 steps martingale, you would have lost both here. Because it said higher, but it was certainly lower in both cases. Here for a low on the second step martingale, here for a lower in the money, here for a higher, well, once again, depending on where you've entered, because I really don't like these kind of candles, but nevertheless, there was a rise. So once again, depending on what kind of expiration you set up as well. So here for a buy, right, I'm sorry, here for a buy, but on this candle, you got this fractal right here saying sell. Again, on this one you would have lost, so because it obviously went upwards on the first, but then you got immediate signal to buy, and you should have won on the second step martingale. Here in the money right away. Here for a sell, once again, depends on what kind of expiration. So it's not really something that you open immediate, maybe. Right, so maybe you can wait one more candle after the fractal comes up to see if this is an opportune moment. Right, so keeping that in mind, let's kind of delete this so it doesn't bother us. All right, we're approaching actually a really super strong long movement downward. Right, so how many counts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, 7 red candles is something that tells me that it's not something that's going to be able to be sustained for much longer. So super big movement, right? It went up to, maybe this level right here, where it faced some resistance. Maybe it can go a little bit lower even to here. But, well, just need to something, just extend this candle, or just extend the support line, and let's see what happens. As I mentioned, this isn't something that could last for a while. Actually, I do have another favorite of mine. Shaft trend cycle here was a sell signal, right? With parabolic, this is actually a really good pair between parabolic and shaft to tell you when the trend is going, when the trend is reversing. So it actually right now, there we go. We see, touches of green. And if that's going to be the case, we're going to have a 1, 2, and a third point contact. And at that point, we're looking at other indicators, for example, like Aroon that might cross over very quickly, as well as shaft that is going to show us that the trend is coming to an end. Here's a sell signal, here's a buy signal. Here's a sell signal, here's a buy signal, right? So it touches from the outside. When it touches the line, that's your buy, or that's your signal to enter into a position. If it does from the top to the bottom, that's your sell. If it does from the bottom to the top, that's your buy. And we have, there we go. We do have kind of like an interesting situation here happening. As I mentioned, when the asset reaches a particular level of support or resistance, it's a point of interest. So it could go sideways right now, but we actually have a 1, 2, 3 point contact. We got a 1, 2, and if it goes sideways, this is the level of interest, and we're keeping an eye out on fractals. We're giving it a bit more preference today, and I think that it should be coming up till the end of the minute. We're going to, there we go, we're going to close, well, basically, if it comes up, I'm going to open the position for the following minute for it to go higher. So let's see one. Is it? There it is. It's showing, damn it. It's showing us a good entry. I entered late as usual when I blabber a little bit about all sort of possibilities. Right, so certainly this is not something that is taught like this. Once you open yourself to practicing this will come a little bit more intuitively. And I think we got some sort of bot sending. I was hoping for to see a message from anybody here, but it seems like we're getting messages from bots only. So if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out. Right now in chats, Henry, Donald are here, but we discuss all of these things with them in Telegram channels. So we're just, they're just hanging out, kind of getting an idea to see, some of the new things live, to see if something piques their interest. All right, so there we go. We're opening a second position for a higher movement. I do believe that it could go higher, so actually maybe we can even set a possible reversal, second point contact, right? So it's very aggressive in this case, but let's kind of follow through with this. So, fractal, once again, this is a downward trend, so I would actually prefer fractals that come up on top. They are the ones that would get more preference or bigger positions. But we can still make a little bit of money on fractals that show up for a pullback, because it showed right in the beginning of the pullback, we have a lot. What's the next level of interest? It is actually this point right here. So it does have a lot of room, right? So from here, 93.90, let's say that it touches here, is going to be 94.41. So that's almost like 50 pips, right? 49 pips that it's going to go up, or maybe more, whatever. But let's say 50 pips, right? That's a big movement from here to here. That's why, yeah, we won, right? Okay, so go back to $1. And now we're actually coming up to an interesting thing where shaft might be reversing, right? Because it is rounding out already, right? So it does have this kind of curve that it's smoothing out. Parabolic is going to be, if it touches, if right now the buyers in AED, CNY, OTC on pocket option are going to push the asset up a little bit further, parabolic is going to switch, and then we have a high likelihood of continuation. There we go, parabolic switched. I'm thinking that at the end of this candle in 5 seconds, the shaft is going to show that it's a good time to open a buy position. There it is. There's a signal, and we were not seeing a fractal, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to open the position because I'm with you guys, just kind of staring at the screen, which makes this a little bit difficult. When I'm explaining a particular indicator approach, it might make us wait for a signal for a while. But, it's kind of boring, so that's why we're going to be kind of testing some ideas and thoughts. Between a buy signal from shaft, between buy signal from parabolic. The fact that it touched this level, I'm actually really excited about it closing below, right? Even though I'm going to lose the position, but it kind of gives me an idea if it actually goes down a little bit further and then comes back to test this level. At that point, there's going to be even higher likelihood that it's going to go up. And if it goes up, it's going to go up, significantly, somewhere around to this level right here, right, right here. And at that point, yeah, we could ride this particular trend a couple of times. See, Fractal showed up for a negative move. I don't know. You know what? No. Wait. Let's go. Let's go for a negative move. I don't know. Did I win the previous? No, I didn't. 150 lower. All right. So I should have done this a little bit sooner. But a little bit sooner. But I think it's at the entry point, or as soon as the signals came up. But we'll see. We got a 1-point contact if we kind of adjust it like this, right? So 1 came back down, 2. And if this comes back down, that would be actually really good. Next position is 375, right? So we're still following proper money management. And in 6 seconds, well, actually, I would probably wait at this point. See, I want the squeeze factor right here is actually really close. It's either going to go, bounce down and continue, or it's got really good potential to go upwards for, a decent move. 1, 2, third point contact has been established. If it goes in the next 43 seconds, it goes upwards. We're going to be very happy people. I'm going to be a very happy Morpheus. And I'm going to be opening positions on the upside. Alright, actually, let me see. What does CCI have to say? It's still in the middle. It doesn't really show anything of interest or high momentum. But, so in the next 18 seconds, this is something that's going to clarify if it's going to close a little bit lower. Or if it's going to close above, then we could expect a upward movement to break out to the next point of interest. Alright, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so where is it going? Where is it going? Where does it go? Nobody knows, but we can still make money. Alright, you know what? Let's go upwards. Let's go upward. It looks like it's, closing. It's kind of, as I mentioned, this, keep mentioning, it's not an exact science. If it closed by, like, this little angle on the top, doesn't mean that it's going, that's it. It's going to go, it's going to go upwards. So it could go sideways right now, touch this particular level, and continue to go up. But in the next couple of positions, we could still lose, which is not a big deal. All right, I'm going to put this into my martingale here with the 1.5 chart. So basically next one is 938, right? So next position, 938. All right, 938. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, so it does look like it broke out. So now we're looking at fractals from the bottom to give us a signal of entry point. We go back to $1 to the first step martingale. And if anybody's got questions about, about this topic in general, again, Telegram channel, if you don't feel comfortable putting this out in front of you, in front of everybody right now, or maybe you're not that shy and you do want to, ask it now in live format. I will answer anything that might be on your mind. So right now, we're really definitely traversing this particular, we're moving up very aggressively. So we have a resistance, 1, 2, 3. This particular resistance level has been, negated by a breakout strategy. 1, 2, 3. It came back down, it broke through. There it is, it's coming. And now we have a valid 1, 2, 3, a valid support level right here as well. So now we'll be looking, if it's going to retrace a little bit, you're going to go sideways and there's a fractal that's going to be on the bottom, I'm going to open the buy position because trend is our friend. It seems like it is going upwards. But if it comes to this level and there's going to be a fractal on the top, which actually could be because as you can see in the past, right, for about I don't know, for about an hour now, right? So it's 48, yes, 40, 1640, the way we go, 1540. For about an hour, this particular asset faced, certain resistance at this level right here. Not really that different. So let's see if this candle closes in the next, what is it, 15, 10 seconds. Lower, we could see a fractal, and that means that we are able to, um, there we go. Open the position for a down. And let's see. I think I'm going to open two positions of, till the end of the candle expiration. So it's all about statistics. You take a look at any indicator and everybody, somebody might see some BS. Be like, oh, screw this. I don't like it. But you might see something that gives you signals. Yes, maybe not right away on the first try, but maybe on the second. And if you test, that's the beautiful thing about us. And we were doing this in the real account, but there is a demo account, right? You can do this in a demo account, or you can do it in the tournaments, just like I mentioned. Look, Fractal disappeared, so we're going to be waiting for our next position to be taken later. There we go. And you know what, actually, I'm going to go for the next minute as well. Why did Fractal disappear? Well, because it's, a lagging indicator, and it bases its signals based on the current activities of clients. In the OTC, it means that it's all of the activity of pocket option clients. So at this moment, when there was a retracement, it gave a signal for a sell, but the majority of people started buying because of a crossover, maybe right here of Aroon, right? Maybe because still the parabolic is on the bottom, maybe because there is, well, whatever. For many reasons, people might have started buying, and Fractal said that, oh, updated information. Nope, this is definitely not where we're going to see a particular reversal. So Fractal is a good indicator when, sometimes it's kind of like an early indicator for me when parabolic is just about to switch, maybe when shaft is showing a buy, Fractal will light up and give you that signal to enter just a little bit sooner. But it's, once I mentioned, it's not really for everybody. So we're waiting. We lost $1. We're waiting for the next Fractal to come up. And, in my opinion, it's going to be relatively soon because we need to, we need to understand support and resistance and the amount of time it took for the asset to move from one point to another, right? So look, it took, let's say what, for 16, this is where we started trading. It took, let's see, right about to here, 30 minutes to drop, right, to this, the lowest low, right? So it took 30 minutes. Now, if we count the minute candles we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minutes it took to raise back like by half of it or maybe even more, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 minutes. If this one goes higher anymore, like around to here, this should be the level of resistance when people might start saying that that's it, this asset is overbought, it's time to start selling it, right? So at any moment, right, we got one here, right, 1, 2, 3, any moment we could go sideways, it could, this particular upward movement could start petering out. Not necessarily, maybe this is going to be a green candle, but next one might be, but small. Next one could be a small red candle. Next one could be a small green candle, but we understand that an upward trend is petering out, that it's lost its momentum. And at that point, we're going to test, right? It's going to test this support level. And if there is a breakout strategy, well, there we go. We're going to see a possible, continuation downward or a trend downward where we are able to ride it a little bit, for a bit longer. Once again, we're focusing today a little bit more on fractals, but please understand that the signal that it provides, basically it says that on the following candle, somewhere here, it said that there's going to be a lowering. It was, but not on the first candle. Somewhere here, it said there's going to be a lowering. It was, but in the second candle. Somewhere here, it said is going to be a rise. Again, on the second candle, there was. Here, a drop. I don't know, 50-50. Right, I think we lost on this one, right? That's why we're like $1.50. So what did I say, right? So look, we got a rise, we got a big candle, we got a little bit bigger if we take the open, if we take the opening and the highest point. But there was a bit of a retracement, a continuation, and now it's sawing this level. So if it closes, next one is red, it's going to come to the support level, and at that point, once again, we're looking at other indicators to confirm if it's a good idea to consider a selling position, right? It's been going up very aggressively, up for, quite a minute, for quite a bit of time. And so we're, seeing, as I mentioned, a bit of resistance, right? Something that I was expecting maybe a little bit higher. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're expecting a bit of resistance, and so is it going to go above this level? If that is, once again, the highest point, it's actually much higher, right? So we were looking at, like right here, we're looking, about 5 hours worth of information, right? So if we go back a little further, we understand that, yes, even though this is kind of like an important level based on here, it's actually much higher, right? It's been dropping over a course of, actually, wait, today, yeah, from 1 o'clock, right, it's been much higher than it is right now. So it's still in the downward movement. That's why if it tests the upper limits, it has more places to go higher to the next levels of resistance where it might face this particular reversal. So it's been going up for a while. Actually, it looks like we got like a asymmetrical double bottom, with this being like a neckline. There it is, right? So for a long time, if we zoom out, let's take a look at maybe like 5-minute candles. There it is, right? We do have this double bottom. Boom, boom. So if it breaks up on here, it does have potential to go up further and, probably somewhere like, a big move that equals about this size. If it breaks up on the top, it does have potential to go up higher, right? So still no questions. Just well wishes from Donald and Henry. All right, let's continue and see what the asset is doing. So far, no fractals. And let's actually update. There we go, in the 49th minute. 2, 1 is, there we go. We got a fractal for a sell. Again, I entered at a, well, but I don't think I lost a lot. So it does show a fractal shows a sell. I'm going to take it to a 375 the second, because we've seen, statistically speaking, that after fractal shows up, it's got potential to be not on the following, but on the candle that's the one after. So there we go. Now, if it's pushed down a little bit further by our clients, by pocket option clients, we are able to anticipate that parabolic is going to switch to the top. We are able to anticipate maybe shaft going from the top to the bottom, saying that this upward movement is over. And that means that this particular support level is, we got a breakout strategy in effect, and we got a support level transitioning from support into, there it is, into a possible resistance. So we'll see the retreat, the movement downward there. We made our money. There we go. We're back to $1 the following minute. And let's see. So we're once again giving priority to Fractal, as kind of something that we could test the statistics today with me, with my balance. But yeah, I would have continued to keep selling because every single minute I do believe that there's going to be at least few more red candles, maybe a bit of a pullback to test the second point contact of this resistance level. So right now it is going to be a resistance because the support level has been breached. 1, 2, 3, 4. Support level has been breached. That's it. No more support. It's no longer valid, but we have only one point contact for this resistance level. All right. So once again, giving priority to fractals, we understand by looking at a larger time intervals that, yeah, man, there could be a significant potential for it to go higher and much higher, but we got a double bottom. It's kind of asymmetrical, right? We could actually still do something like this as well. If we're looking at bigger picture, we got 1, we got 2, we got kind of 3, definitely 3, 4 point contact for this resistance level. Actually, let's make it really pop right here. Let's make it maybe a different color. There we go. And we got a 2-point contact with this particular level of support. So also something that should be relevant in this picture, we got a move down higher to the same level where it bounced away and it established a new highest low. All right, so it is a low, but the next low is a little bit higher low. So yes, granted, first it was like this, and on the third it broke through. So this is not valid, but this level right here, we're just extending it, and we're seeing this is actually pretty good. So in a larger view of this would be called an ascending right triangle. Ascending right triangle. So it means that if it's going to go down here, bounce away and test, if it breaks out on this side, again, we're looking at a movement that is possibly equals the widest part of this consolidation. All right, so this is where we, it is interesting to be aware of larger time intervals because it still points out that we could see after this big long downward movement, we're seeing consolidation that could break up, and you got lots of points of interest here. We do have it here. See across these right there, there's a support here. It was a resistance. Here it was a support, so level that we've established as an upward potential is still valid. So let's go back to 1 minute and see what the asset is going to be doing. So short term, we could expect that it's going to continue to go down further, right? We don't have, I moved it, right? All right, so we don't, let's make another one. We have the second point contact. There it is. Right, so at this point, and I kind of screwed up. While I was explaining another thing, we saw a fractal here, and we would have made money. Actually, no, not really. Right, depending on how we would have proceeded in this, we would have made money. So it said buy, and depending on where, right, we could have 4 seconds if it closes green potentially. Oh no, see, we got here saying buy, we got here saying sell. Once again, the downward movement kind of implies after a breakout strategy, we do expect a downward movement, so I would give much more preference, once again, to the fractals that come up with the trend. Right? Trend is your friend. We kind of always have to keep that in mind. Let's see if we could possibly have a channel. Well, it's not really a parallel channel, but let's see. So if this candle closes, there is a potential to see a fractal pop up here as well. Again, I'm expecting the shaft is going to kind of round out and give us a sell signal as well. But in 15 seconds, we should be able to see a sell signal. And the previous trade was a winning one, so let's continue with a dollar. All right, there's Fractal, and of course, and there we go. So, nope, still not available, right? Okay. There we go, sell, even though I entered a bit late. So as I mentioned, the fractal pops up at the end of the candle, right? So we understood this, by the way, right? So I told you that, hey, like in 15 seconds, it's going to show. Because it did test a very good level, it bounced away from it, and, because of a breakout strategy, we're expecting a downward movement. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be opening maybe for 2 or 3 positions based on a fractal signal. So we've got next minute and 10 seconds to open. Maybe I'm going to take a little bit of a chance, open a bit sooner, and 375 for a downward movement, right? So we got a dollar we've lost, but we got $1.50 as a sell point here, expecting that it should continue to go downward just based on the fact that it broke through a support level and we're expecting a downward movement. There we go. Shaf said on this candle right here that there's going to be, on this red candle, there's going to be a reversal, though there was a bit of a pullback. And so we're keeping an eye out on majority of all of this. So it's not one thing, it's about analysis of current situation and understanding when you should wait a little bit and what you could be anticipating. So majority of things that I say, you've noticed that this is live graph. If you click on pocket option link below and you open, AED, CNY, OTC, you're going to see what I see. You're not going to, this isn't something that is pre-recorded, right? I'm not trading on the graph that's already been. So it is exactly what's happening right now. You often understand that when I say, hey, it's meeting these resistance levels, this is higher possibility of this happening, right? So on this candle, it said the fractal came up, said that it's going to be going up. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Because once again, trend is your friend. Right now, we're establishing a downward movement. And it is testing this level, but as I mentioned, it depends on how we, the pocket option traders react. We could see this potential breakthrough a little bit sooner and go higher to test this level, right? But, it could also be going down for a bit more. So going against the trend with fractals, I would rather not. So that's why I kept mentioning this sooner as well. Trend is your friend, support and resistance levels give you a point of interest, but the indicators confirm where the interest might flow, right? Not everybody trades with 1 minute candles. Some people do make analysis with a 5 minute candle and they're seeing, hey, we got one, we got two over here, we got possible 3-point contact, right? If we're, maybe look at this a little bit closer with like a 3 minute. Right, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, nice. So now if they're seeing this, they could essentially be pushing this particular asset higher, right? So this particular, yeah, and I'm kind of speaking for everybody right now. But obviously I can, but we got one, there's a retracement 2. There's a possible 3rd-point contact right here, which means that we have a consolidation between these 2 levels, right? So if it does break out, once again, it's going to be the widest part of this, right? It's going to go somewhere to here, right? That's why when we're looking at 1 minute candle, we're saying, wait a second, it should be going down further. Well, that's not really really so accurate because, other people that are looking at the graph with a bit more higher interval would be able to see an entirely different picture, right? So, I don't know, maybe a buy signal here was a good idea, right? Between this and this, right? So it's pushing this upwards. Right now, parabolic is going to go under. We got a buy signal from Shaft, Aroon is still not doing anything, but yeah, we're about to get a buy signal from here. We got a 1, we got a 2. It would be really stretching to say that this was a 3-point contact, so I would just much rather say that that wasn't verified level. But if it goes up right now, in the next couple of minutes, it could go up to this level, and if it breaks through, then my dear friends, there's your 10% on the daily market. I would actually expect that this is going to be going up for quite a while. And but once again, this still depends upon people how they see this graph. The quotes that are coming in, they're accurate on 1 minute, on 5 minutes, cumulatively. But cumulatively, they paint a different picture a bit. So let's stick with this. Let's see if we get an upward trend, and if we get a fractal at the bottom here somewhere. It looks like this level right here several times, 1, 2, 3-point contact is breaking out right now. You know what? I would have opened. Let's go. You know what? Let's go. I'm gonna open it for. I'm gonna open it just to kind of keep things interesting. We're going to go with the 150 for an upward movement. There we go. Once again, Telegram is open, my dear man and gals. All right, take it. Okay, now I'm gonna have to shut up because this is once again an interesting aspect of what the heck is going to happen next. You know, is it going to break out, or is it going to bounce back again? If we got 1, you know, kind of 2, we could stretch the truth a little bit. Notice that this is 3. If it's going to go back down and break through the support level, we are able to expect it to go down a little bit further, again to about here where it faced resistance to movement. But if it breaks out right now, AEDCNY is a very interesting asset on the minute time base, on the minute candle, where you are able to okay, so I think that we got maybe like my internet is crapping out, but we've done an hour worth of this kind of explaining of what the Fractal could be doing. Fractal is a lagging indicator. Some people will use it um, uh, as an indicator that gives a signal a little bit sooner than the other ones. All right, so test this particular indicator with tournaments. Test this indicator with demo account, and also factor in that maybe when it shows a signal, it might not bring this maybe a great signal immediately, but on the following candle. Right, so I think that I'm facing some tech difficulties with regards to the internet. The weather might be a little bit messing with this. But once again, my dear friends, it's going to be, posted later. Sign up to Pocket, test what we discussed. Link is below. Once again, I can ensure your trading against negative outcome. All right, it's done for free. If you got any questions about this, just touch base with me in Telegram channel, which is also posted below, and we can clarify this one-on-one. You and I can trade just like me and Henry, me and Donald. We trade one-on-one. We answer any questions. These guys can confirm. So, my dear friends, thank you so much. Tomorrow, CPI, don't miss it. It's going to be, it's going to be as good as NFP. We're actually, in this case, I think that tomorrow, CPI is going to outshine the for NFP from Friday. So I'll see you tomorrow at 15:30 GMT. See you all later. Bye.